It's a new season for the St. Joseph's Prep Hawks, and that is not only true weather-wise, but also in the realm of football. It is a change from an intense national schedule to the PCL schedule, where the Hawks look to capture their fourth consecutive PIAA 6A state championship. But that all starts here tonight, and Father Judge is the PCL's first line of defense. Hello, my friends, it's Dominic Campanaro, welcoming you to the first pregame show of the Hawks PCL schedule. Tonight, I'll be joined with many members of WCP. And to start off, I invite Anthony Sorgi to the show. Anthony, it's a whole new change of pace for the Hawks tonight. How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good about tonight. Hawks have been struggling a little in the first four games, but coming off of a win against Good Counsel, I think they're going to start their PCL season very, very strong.
Absolutely, Anthony. So tonight, there's a lot going on between both teams. Obviously, both coming from different backgrounds. So let's start off right away and turn to the home team tonight, the Father Judge Crusaders, a team who currently stands at a 3-2 record, looking to shock this St. Joe's Prep squad. Anthony, what has this Crusaders season been like thus far?
There's been some difficulties within it. Some close games, some that have been more fruitful than others. Like Judge's last game against Springside, where they won by a very good margin. And some others were like against Wood, where they struggled a bit more than they should have.
Yeah, thank you, Anthony. Obviously, this Crusaders team coming off a huge week. Again, it's a dominating Springfield Township, So, building that momentum, maintaining that momentum, it looks to be a priority with this Crusaders team, right?
Exactly. I absolutely agree with you there. They need to keep the momentum going, especially now in this PCL season, and especially against the Prep.
And obviously looking to pull off a major upset tonight. And so let's turn to the visiting squad here, the St. Joseph's Prep Hawks. Obviously, everyone on our team probably knows about them. Team who currently holds a 1-3 record, obviously off of that intense schedule. So, Anthony, what has the past four games looked like for the Hawks?
The past four games for the Hawks, they've been very, very intense. They've been going against nationally ranked teams like American Heritage in their first game, where they had a very, very regretful loss, 31-28. And then we've also had games against St. Francis Academy and Good Counsel as well, and DeMatha. The Prep won their last game against Good Counsel, 24-0. Great way to end off the national schedule, I would say. And then now we're here, we're here showing them off against Father Judge.
And obviously this game is a build them for next week at Franklin Field against LaSalle. Obviously the matchup that everyone's been waiting for. I'm sure everybody in the audience and us as well. We're so excited for this game, obviously. St. Joe's probably looking to have a huge victory, potentially winning twice against LaSalle this year. But Anthony, now obviously, despite the record that the Hawks have, obviously 1-3, not what many people expected in a sense, but obviously you have to understand this intense schedule. But what stood out to you about how this PA powerhouse plays?
They play very aggressive ball. We've seen, especially in the first half of the American Heritage game, they just kept sacking Diabel and his team and just pushing them back within the first half after scoring 21-0. Unfortunately, they did lose that game, 31-28, but I still think they played great ball throughout that whole game. And then last game against Good Counsel, they won 24-0. A few mistakes here and there by both sides, but the team really pulled along well, and I think that was a great way to end their season, to end their schedule against the national teams, and also to rally the guys just in time for the PCL season.
And thank you for joining the pregame show. Obviously, we hope to hear more from you tonight. You'll be on scoreboard. Is that correct?
Yes, I
no?
No, actually, no. I will be on stats tonight.
Stats. We've had a few changes, so probably we'll get to hear you at halftime. But obviously, thank you. So, obviously, stick around throughout the first half to hear more from Anthony Sorgi. Now, I invite the color commentator, onto the show, WSJP Assistant Vice President of Broadcasting, Anthony Sorgi. Anthony, welcome to the show.
Dom, what is up? It is a beautiful night for football, as you know, as the people can see. Gorgeous football weather, gorgeous night for Hawks win.
Anthony, obviously this isn't the only PCL football game going on right now. Let's talk about the rest of the PCL, specifically what could arguably be the game of the week, Roman versus LaSalle at Widener. Discuss these two teams real quick.
Yeah, our PCL Sports Network game of the week between these two great teams. The Explorers obviously heading into the a week where they play St. Joe's Prep on October 4th, just a week and a day from today. And then you got Roman Catholic. They're coming off of what was an interesting non-conference schedule. Of course, they, like the Prep, had a rough time against DeMatha, but both of these teams have great offenses on one side. You see Gavin Sitwar on the other, Samaj Beals. They're both playing D1 ball. This is going to be a great matchup down at Widener this evening, Dom.
Yeah, obviously LaSalle having Joey O'Brien, absolute domination on him for both sides of the ball. Gavin Sitwar just said, going to play SEC ball, obviously expect a lot out of him tonight. Also, got to mention the Holy War, Anthony. Bonner versus O'Hara, obviously, probably is overlooked by the LaSalle versus Roman game, but you've obviously done some research on that. What have you learned from these two teams?
Oh, the Holy War of Delco is as big of a rivalry as you can
We got
get.
a helicopter flying over. I'm sorry.
Outside of the Prep in LaSalle, it's as big of a rivalry as you're going to get in the PCL. These two teams despise each other. They're out for blood. As Ryan Sullivan would say, it's soul-taking time tonight in Drexel Hill. And when you look at Cardinal O'Hara, this is a team that had a really good out-of-conference time, winning a lot of games there. They're hoping to pull off a big upset on the road against Bonner. For the Friars, meanwhile, looking to go back-to-back in state title games. They're hoping to get back to Mechanicsburg for another year and win back-to-back championships there. But right now, how about Bonner? They, of course, won both games last year. They won that 4A District 12 semifinal 28-21. The first game, a lot more of a blowout. That second game, it was close. O'Hara's last win down 2017. The matchup for people to watch, the quarterbacks. 4-year starter John Welby against the junior Noel Campbell. Two great QBs. It will be fascinating to see what goes down in the Holy War this evening.
And we'll take a short little break real quick for our promotion segment. We'll be right back in just a moment. I'm as well. Here at the studio, St. Joseph's Prep and how I learned comments. Is obviously a part of the Hawk Choir, and we're here to promote other clubs. And I apologize. We have a bit of network issues there, but obviously, Anthony, back to what's going on in the PCL. We haven't mentioned West Catholic and Lansdale Catholic. What's going on with that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be an interesting matchup. These are two squads that are obviously in the blue division. They're not the creme de la creme of the Catholic League, but they're not terrible. Of course, you look at James Webb and company there over at Lansdale. It'll be an interesting matchup. It should be a close game there tonight when the Crusaders and Burrs face off.
Absolutely, Anthony. And now let's get into some game picks, we'll say. How about LaSalle and Roman, obviously two dominant programs. What do you expect there?
Yeah, I mean, Roman's a great team. There's no doubt about it. No one in the area is doubting that at all. But the Explorers of LaSalle are nationally ranked for a reason. They're a very, very good team. I think it's going to be 34-21 in favor of the Explorers as they hope to gain some more momentum heading into next weekend's game against the Prep.
All right, Anthony, thank you for joining me for this segment. Obviously, it looks like they're getting some formal stuff for this game, but obviously we get to hear from you and AJ on the call for this game. And thank you so much for joining.
Absolutely.
And I'll pass it over to the third segment of this pregame show with Ryan Sullivan. Ryan, the pride of South Philly, how you feeling?
Camp, you know what time it is? You want to know what time it is?
It's pregame show time.
It is pregame show time, but guess what it is in about 20-something minutes? It's soul-taking time. The Prep are ready to take the souls of Father Judge here today. I am doing so incredible. It's a beautiful September day. Look at that sky, Camp. I mean, you couldn't get a better shot here. We got St. Joe's Prep. We got Father Judge, the #1 team in PA, versus the underdog trying to take down the #1 team. I mean, you couldn't put it any better.
You really couldn't, and obviously from with Anthony Sorgi, we were going over both teams as well as in the Korea. Excuse me, not LaSalle, my God. Judge and St. Joseph's Prep, obviously, two dominant programs. And obviously, Ryan, you know a lot about St. Joseph's Prep ball, obviously the president of WSJP. Last week, you could say it was utter domination by St. Joseph's Prep. 24-0 shutout win over Our Lady of Good Counsel at Franklin Field. Let's discuss this game real quick.
I think utter domination is even loosely putting it. The Prep was controlling the game in all three aspects. I want to start off with special teams because the Prep are really good there. They didn't make any mistakes. That's the first thing. But then the blocked field goals, not letting Good Counsel get off good punts. That was one aspect. Offensively, Kion Billups getting it done on the ground, over 100 yards rushing. More got it done towards the back end of the game because of the fact that Our Lady of Good Counsel focused a little bit more on the pass because Charlie Folk was playing so well. And then the passing game in general. Charlie Folk was so great. Not really against it was all right against St. Francis. He figured it out in the back half of in that game, but in this game he was great from start to finish. Accurate throws, going through his progression, something that I have maybe said Charlie's got to improve on a little bit. Going through his progressions, he was very good on the run. He was throwing the ball on the run, something we haven't seen from him in the past. He played absolutely incredible. The offensive line was incredible. It was great. I think you probably heard me on the call last week talking about the pulling of Jake Namum. He was getting around to his side in just about 0.5 seconds, so he was incredible in itself. And then you gotta look at the defense. A shutout there. The defensive line was getting home every single play. Alex Haskell, Colton Anderson, Anthony Shuley, Jason Nitz. I mean, all at once, they were just putting pressure on Rice, and he had absolutely nowhere to go. And even when he was running, he had Brandon Lockley ready to meet him, who was spying on him the entire day. A really great game from Brandon Lockley as well. But you got to talk about my MVP of the game, John Boggs. I caught up with him at the end, and he was talking about how his film really helped him understand where the play was going to go and really what was going to happen with the Our Lady of Good Counsel team. Every single play, it seemed like he knew where the run was going to go. It looked like he knew where the quarterback was going to go on the rollout, what gap he had to run through to make the tackle, and what gap to fill. He was so great. And then the secondary, Daryl Jacquez, another guy that you could make that argument for the game MVP. Forcing a fumble in that game, was great in the run, walking down on a few occasions. His hitting ability is really, really good, and he's gotten so much better in coverage as well. Daryl Jacquez, another great game for him. BR, Messiah, Samaj, in my opinion, the best trio in Pennsylvania as we speak. They were incredible as well, only letting Rice complete, I believe it was 2 passes. So they were great as well. I mean, just literally all aspects of the game. I don't think you could give St. Joe's Prep a criticism against Our Lady of Good Counsel. That's how great they played.
Yeah, and obviously, you talk about that offense, Charlie Folk, the huge factor into the game to see how he's going to play. Obviously, an up-and-down game, in my opinion, when we took on excuse me, sorry for a second. Just had a mind blank there for a second. St. Francis, obviously, incredible touchdown passes to Jet Harrison, obviously, for that game. That was, as I will say, the Jet Harrison legacy game. You might not get anything better than that, but obviously, as you said, just utter domination, incredible performance by both teams, especially, not both teams, excuse me, both sides of the ball, obviously. And, it could really be the MVP for all the defense, Ryan. It was just that much of just a standoff, you could say now.
No, yeah, I mean, the defense was just incredible, Camp. I mean, literally, it was every play. They were in the backfield. They were getting past the offensive line. They were wrapping up on their tackles. And then they were also sending, Lockley, sometimes extra man on the rush. Literally, it was every play. They were in the backfield. They weren't taking plays off either, something that Coach Roken really, puts on his guys. Don't take plays off. I mean, literally, every play they were in the backfield. There's no other way to put it. And that's what you need to do.
Yeah, Ryan. And again, building all this momentum for that LaSalle matchup, you dropped the first 2 games against American Heritage into math. You take on St. Francis, obviously, that dominant force. Honestly, it wasn't that bad of a performance, honestly,
No.
34-26, you kept it to 1 score. Obviously, a lot closer than most people thought about because, St. Francis being such a dominant program in the Northeast, coming within 1 against them, obviously, taking that team to 4 quarters is impressive. And then obviously going to Our Lady of Good Counsel, a game I didn't expect to be of that magnitude and of that importance in my opinion because St. Joe's Prep obviously just incredible performance. But obviously, looking through adversity, he said, talking about John Box, we saw him for week 1 against American Heritage, and then we didn't see him for 2 more weeks, and he returns and just performs exceptionally well, as expected. But again, our domination, your player of the game. I think I'll have to go with Dario Jacquez, honestly. I think that his third down stops were crucial, obviously, but everything went into factor and was the reason why St. Joe's Prep dominated. But Ryan, I'm going to keep you on the show for just a few minutes, obviously. We're going to get into our final predictions for tonight's matchup, St. Joe's Prep and Father Judge. We both submitted predictions earlier this week. Another helicopter flies over our heads. This is something different. And obviously, before I turn it over to you for your prediction, I just want to mention, how about some Judge guys going into the dugout, actually, on the baseball field? That might be something fascinating, no?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the Prep have their own locker room.
That's my question is. That's what I'm observing.
I'm not necessarily sure, but I mean, I guess staying close to the field and being close to the environment of where you're going to play is definitely not something bad at all. I don't think it's a negative. In some sense, it could be a positive.
Yeah, absolutely not at all. So Ryan, again, I'll turn it over to you. Father Judge and St. Joe's Prep, obviously, I think we all know what we're going to expect, but just go over your predictions real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I predicted the Prep to win 48-0 in this one. I think that they will be utterly dominant in this game. I mean, you got to look at the talent right now. You also got to look at the fact that the Prep are coming off an incredible win versus Good Counsel. They have the momentum. They know what they're doing. I think the defense is probably going to play one of their better games. This Father Judge team, they like to roll out their quarterback, Fogarino. They like to roll him a lot out of the pocket. And even if he is able to make it that far because of the fact you got to deal with Shuley, Haskell, Nitz, and Colton Anderson, if he makes it that far, he's running into Brandon Lockley, who is normally spying on the quarterback, and he's definitely going to be spying on a running quarterback this week in Fogarino. So I think you got to take that into consideration right there. And also John Boggs going to be there once again to stop the run. I think Father Judge would have a little bit more success if he wasn't playing in this game, but evidently he is going to be. So I think that they're going to have a lot of problems offensively. And then getting over to the offensive side of the ball for St. Joe's Prep, once again, they're running off fumes right now. They know what's going on. They came off a really good week versus Good Counsel. I thought they could have potentially played a little bit better against Good Counsel offensively, and I think Charlie Folk knows that. He talked about it in the interview with Anthony Sorgi last week, how, there are still things to work on, and he's definitely not wrong there, but obviously still playing a very good game. But Kion Billups, I think he's going to get done on the ground today. The Prep know that they're more talented on the offensive line. I think that they will be able to dominate in the trenches on that side of the ball, and then Kion Billups, one of the most shiftiest running backs, on the smaller side, but one of the most shiftiest running backs in the entire state of Pennsylvania. Some argue the best running back in the class of 2026 in the state of Pennsylvania. And then Charlie Folk throwing the football, I think is going to be really good today. Obviously, Jet Harrison, who had a great game against Father Judge last season, 2 touchdowns. And now Austin Frisbee emerging. Elam Tootle, you can expect him to get some snaps. Jake Wilson, we'll see how much he gets in this game. Rob Novotny, obviously, had a pretty good week last week when they were Good Counsel was double-teaming Jet Harrison. They know what's going on St. Joe's Prep. They know that they're the more talented team. They just have to come out and prove it.
Yeah, Ryan, absolutely. You have to know some pretty much everything there, you can honestly say. But I think the one key word for this game is going to be experiment.
Right.
This St. Joe's Prep offense and defense is going to experiment, move guys around, see how they perform. Maybe we might get to see Najee Williams at running back. Again, we saw that for JV football when we saw JV take on Cardinal Gibbons down in Florida. But again, experimentation, all that will be a huge benefactor in St. Joe's Prep's victory tonight. 48-6 is my prediction. I don't expect anything less of that, obviously, because I think St. Joe's Prep, as we said, momentum-wise, they got them on that note, and I just think Father Judge might get outclassed in this one. But we'll see. Obviously, we're just under 20 minutes until kickoff, probably around 15 minutes until game coverage. But thank you for joining the pregame show. I'm Dominic Campanaro. That was Ryan Sullivan. Shout out Anthony Correa and Anthony Sorgi. Don't go anywhere. Just in a few minutes, we'll get to hear from AJ Farrington on play-by-play and Anthony Sorgi on color. Thank you very much.
Go Prep.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our newest installment of PCL football. We are here at Rant Playground as the St. Joseph's Preps Hawks take on the Father Judge Crusaders. It is a beautiful night out, Anthony, isn't it?
Absolutely, AJ. Couldn't ask for much more this evening.
And in the words of Mr. Connors, here come the Hawks.
This is a St. Joe's Prep team, AJ, that currently sits at 1-3. They're storming into PCL play after a 24-0 win over Our Lady of Good Counsel of Maryland, a very impressive win. And they are looking tonight to get themselves one win closer to next week when they face the Explorers of LaSalle in what is a holy war above all holy wars, a rivalry above all rivalries in the state of Pennsylvania. But tonight, as Ryan Sullivan says, it's soul-taking time.
Absolutely, Anthony. And in the words of Anthony Schuley last week, we just focus on the next game. And as we see right here, the Father Judge Crusaders coming out of the corner, storming onto the field.
Yeah, and AJ, this is a Judge team that has had a decent non-conference heading into PCL play. They're 3-2 on the year. Nothing that is overly impressive, but nothing overly disappointing either. Of course, they opened up the season with a 28-7 loss to Archbishop Ryan. Then down in Ocean City, it was a 30-27 win over Lansdale Catholic. After that, they faced Germantown Academy, losing 30-6. Then it was Archbishop Wood. That was a 27-26 win. And then Springfield Monco last week, they beat them 48-27. Next week, the Crusaders will face Bonner on the road in Drexel Hill. And as a team that last won the PCL title in 1984, and that is ranked 3,589th nationally, they're the major underdogs. The majority of game picks that came out this week did not have the Crusaders scoring a point. They are looking to prove all of those people wrong this evening.
Yeah, Anthony, there's a reason that we play these games, right? Anything can happen, especially as we know in PCL. I mean, it's an incredibly volatile league. And Father Judge, as you mentioned earlier in some of the previous contests, they've been PCL tested a little bit already so far this season, getting multiple matchups. So we'll see if that bit of experience so far, so to speak, really kind of gives them a bit of an advantage here.
No doubt, AJ, and I mean, it's just time to get ready for kickoff. We see the captains heading to midfield. Here we go. And you see AJ there out on the field. It's Kyle Ullman, Alex Haskell, Colton Anderson, and Jake Namden out there meeting the Judge guys at midfield.
Yeah, it's just a great group of guys here, really. Just fantastic leadership, really, throughout this entire prep football team, but especially for these four.
Yeah, no doubt at all. We see an honorary captain on the field. It is a gorgeous sunset we're starting to see here in the Northeast.
A lot of people rolling in, isn't there, Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, this is a packed stand. Obviously, I mean, this is one of the smallest stadiums the Prep is going to play in all season here at Rant Playground. But it's packed as you would expect. It's no doubt going to be a sold-out crowd this evening as a lot of people are here to watch the Hawks hopefully get a big win over Father Judge.
Yeah, Anthony, you said it, not the biggest stadium, but an iconic one.
No doubt. Every stadium in the PCL is iconic, I think.
I don't think it's ridiculous to say that at all.
Yeah.
In my opinion, one of the best sports leagues across the board.
I mean, top 4 league in the country last year, the Red Division was. And when you look at it, you have 2 nationally ranked teams, and then you've got teams like Roman, O'Hara, Bonner, and Judge as well. This league is not shabby at all. And then the Blue Division, I mean, you got guys with offers that are going to be playing high D1 ball down there, whether it be from Newman Goretti, Lansdale Catholic. But we'll take a break right here.
Archbishop Ryan. ladies and gentlemen, we are back after a beautiful prayer from Brother Jim and the national anthem.
Can say, AJ, it is a Friday night FNL, the first time the Prep have been under the lights of Friday night this season. They will only be under the Friday night lights one more time during the regular season. That'll be against Roman in 2 weeks. But I think there's a good amount of attention on this game this evening, AJ, because their expectations are high on St. Joe's Prep. They have been all year. They're higher than ever this evening. As the Prep has, again, they're expected to win this game very handily, and they will look to do so. And AJ, of course, we should mention the Prep in the crimson, white, and grays, while it is Father Judge in the baby blue helmets and jerseys with the white pants.
And it will be those baby blue jerseys to return kick to start this game. We got two men back there. We have Palmer looking the main man in return here. Prep kick will come to you via Luke Cochran.
There you go. Cochran, of course, has been on a lot of kickoffs this season.
Yeah. Done quite a good job as well, I might add.
Yeah.
And that kick is going to be called a touchback.
And we'll hopefully see a good defensive stop from the Prep here. Expectations for Father Judge and quarterback John Fogarino aren't the highest, but you never know. Fogarino could come out and surprise. This is a guy who you need to watch out for. Every game matters. There's a reason why we play these games, and the Prep just needs to make sure they're thinking that here.
Fogarino, again in the gun.
Two men in the backfield. Interesting.
He is Jacob Brennan in there. Two receivers left, one to his right. And handoff is inside to that fullback. And Brennan is going to get about an even gain, I would say.
Yeah, if you were expecting the Prep to give up 2 big runs in a row, you would be wrong. This is a great defense. It's the best defense in Pennsylvania, and it's not even close. You can look at guys like Alex Haskell, Colton Anderson, Samaj Hill, Messiah Acree, just to name a few guys that are going to be playing in college. Brandon Lockley as well, of course, with over 20 D1 offers. This defense is absolutely elite, and there's no doubt about it.
Same setup again. Fogarino in the gun. Brennan in the backfield with him. 2 receivers left. And here's Midget on the punt. And that is going to roll down the sideline and go out of bounds at the 20.
Almost blocked, but not quite. So that was actually not a
30
great
parted.
Yeah, I mean, it had a good bounce. You'll take that if you're Judge, but the Prep offense here is looking to just drive down the field and put up a quick 7, get themselves off to a hot start. But yeah, AJ, I mean, this is a Prep offense that's spectacular. Charlie Folk, of course, a guy who will be at Penn State tomorrow evening on a visit there and holds a pit offer.
Yeah, we see Charlie Falk in the backfield lined up there with Kion Billups, Rob Novotny, Alston Frisbee, and Simon Colabardino on his left. Jet Harrison, the lone man on the right. Falk takes the snap. He's looking. He's going deep for Novotny, and it's caught over the middle. Breaking tackles, Rob Novotny. And we got a little pile up here. No forward gain. And we're going to call that a gain of 30, about, for Rob Novotny.
Rob Novotny, the Fordham man, with a huge, huge catch there. And, I mean, this is exactly what you should expect. St. Joe's Prep, they're bigger, they're stronger, they're better than their opponents, and that's what we're looking for here from the Hawks, is just a very solid evening.
Folk, again, in the backfield. Under center, pardon. Billups in the backfield. Hand off to him. And he's going to go for about a gain of none. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Not every play is going to be perfect. This offensive line is still growing. But Kai Billups, the Monmouth man, of course, a very, very solid back. He'll come out here for this play.
Absolutely.
Which means Amin Williams is going to be in the game. The class of 2028, we've seen him get a lot of good playing time thus far this season.
Jet Harrison, the single man to the right. Jake Wilson and Mean Williams in the backfield along with Charlie Falk. Alston Frisbee, the lone man to the right. Rob Novotny also lined up on the line. Falk takes the snap. He's going to go to Amin. He's going to pick up about 4 yards there.
Yeah, and Amin Williams is a very solid player, holding 4 carries for 8 yards on the year, but he's gotten a lot more playing time than just that. So for St. Joe's Prep, they're trying to get some younger guys in this evening, get them more PT.
Falk again in the gun. Amin in there with them. Jed Harrison, Alston Frisbee, and Rob Novotny to his left. Simon Colberdino, the lone man, on the right side there. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, screen pass to Frisbee. Frisbee makes a guy miss. It's going to get dragged of about 8 yards.
Alston Frisbee is the unsung hero of this offense thus far this season. This is a guy so far this season who sits with 14 receptions for 230 yards. That's second to only Jet Harrison. Alston Frisbee, absolute beast.
Credit Clevin Inyang on that tackle right there. It was a good job of containing. I mean, he got the first step, but just making sure he didn't get that huge play. It's all right. You can let up 5, but you can't let up 20. That's a good job from him in there.
Absolutely, AJ.
Falk again in the gun with Amin Williams in the backfield with him. Jet Harrison, the lone man, to the left. He's going to take the handoff, fake it. Oh, just a little high for Rob Novotny there. The gap was there, absolutely, running in between those 2 high safeties, but just a little out of room.
Great execution, great design. Execution didn't work as they would have liked there, but we see Jake Wilson getting in the game now.
Yeah.
Of course, Wilson sitting with a Syracuse offer as well as a Princeton offer.
Colberdino and Frisbee, your stack on the right. Harrison, the lone man on the left. The usual characters in the backfield. Motion Frisbee. Charlie takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Under intense pressure, gets away. And he's going to find Wilson wide open on the sideline. He's going to bulldoze him in and score. Jake Wilson getting open on the scramble drill and just running straight over a guy in for the touchdown.
He's actually going to be just short at the 1, AJ.
Oh!
Heartbreaker there for the Prep.
Thought he reached in there.
But Jake Wilson just bulldozing guys again. The Prep, they're stronger, they're bigger, they're better than their opponents tonight. And again, this is a tough league. Father Judge is not a bad team. There are thousands of teams, or not thousands, but probably 1,000 or so teams in Pennsylvania at the high school level. And Judge is in the top 130. That says that they're not a bad team at the Prep. They're on another level.
Falk takes snap, handoff inside to Kion Billups, who gets it untouched. St. Joe's Prep rushing touchdown there. Starting the board off, 6 minutes left in the first quarter.
Kai Billups just ran right through them. Credit to the O-line. This O-line is, they had struggles early. They have been much improved since then. This is a Prep O-line that is not bad at all. They're growing, they're learning, and they are good.
Luke Cochran's going to be on for your extra point attempt.
There you go. Let's see if Cochran can get one in here.
Oh, and that looks like it's going to be an offsides penalty on Father Judge. Won't really impact all that much, but penalty was declined, actually.
Yeah, I don't think the Prep really, either way.
You go for 2 technically there.
You could, but they're going to be modest here and just take the point.
Here is the snap. It's a good one. Hold is good, and Cochran's kick is through. St. Joseph's Prep Hawks 7, Father Judge Crusaders nothing.
Absolute money there from Luke Cochran, and now the Prep obviously will get to be on defense again here in a moment.
And the Hawks here to kick off from their own 25. Ferguson in the back to return. Along with Glacken. Cochran's kick is up and boomed. Good return, good run back here, and stopped down at around the 32-yard line. Solid coverage there by the Hawks and special teams.
Yeah, the Prep giving up a little bit more yards than they would have liked, but you can't complain there. And obviously for the Prep, they're hoping for another great stop right here to get the ball back in the hands of this Prep offense.
Fonarigo under center, pardon. He has Glacken in the backfield with him. It's going to be a handoff to him, and he is crushed behind the line. Plays made by all front four members of this defensive line. Credits to Alex Haskell, Colton Anderson, and Jay Nitz getting in there.
What did I say at the top of the broadcast? Soul-taking time. That's what the Prep defense is doing. They are just clobbering up this Father Judge offense right now. Prep defense again. They're beyond elite when it comes to the state of Pennsylvania.
Absolutely. I would say beyond elite when it comes to any state ever. All
Yeah,
50 of them.
I mean, you can make an argument that they have a really good defense. Obviously, it didn't show early in the season, but they are much improved here in state play.
Fonarigo in the gun here. He's going to take the snap. We're going to see that option again. He's just going to lead with it and get wrapped up by Colton Anderson.
And it's still going to be 2nd and 11. Doesn't matter a ton. The Prep still in a good defense. Excuse me, 3rd and 11 because it's money down.
It is money down, Anthony. You said it best. We've seen the Prep do some really good work in these money down situations, and I wouldn't write them off to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, this is a Prep defense that gave up 0 points last weekend. Let's hope they can do the same.
Really? Fogarino here in the backfield with Jacob Brennan. Fogarino looking. He's going to shoot deep, and that pass is incomplete, but a flag on the play. Samaj Hill in coverage. Fogarino was looking for Hutz there downfield.
Looked clean to me, but we didn't have the best angle of it. Prep side didn't love it. I'm assuming the Judge side did. So unfortunate turn of events there for the Prep.
That is going to be a pass interference call, which, remember, is not spotted at the point of contact, but is a 15-yard gain instead at the high school level.
And this is where the Prep cannot slip up. There's no excuse for mistakes. There's no excuse for penalties. And they have to do everything they can to avoid that. It happens. It's part of football. But they can't let Judge take advantage of that.
Incredibly physical DBs on this Prep side. I think that's just going to happen with any DBs who like to, really initiate contact like they do. Fogarino in the gun. And he's on the keeper. He's going to get swallowed up again. Loss of 2 there. Credit once again the entire front four of the St. Joe's Prep defensive line there. I think specifically looked like Haskell was in there first, but followed right in by Shuley and Anderson right afterwards.
I mean, AJ, again, this Prep defense is spectacular. They might be a little bit undisciplined, but they make up for it with their great D, especially this D-line.
Fonarigo in the gun again. Buckner, his lone receiver to the right. It's the snap, and it's going to be a handoff inside, and that is going to be swallowed up again. Jacob Brennan had nowhere to go, and it looked like John Boggs was in there to fill the run, as he does so often.
That's the Mike linebacker. That's the guy with all the Ivy offers. And again, it's money down here for the Prep on D.
Money down. Money down, playtime.
Here in the prep stands, cheering on the Hawks. Big down here.
Like so many times before, Fogarino in the back, in the gun. And on the keeper there. And he is going to get knocked down by Colton Anderson. It's a good wrap-up, just not letting him get past.
And the prep is going to force a turnover here. Exactly what you want. Father Judge walks off the field in dismay, but the prep, another great spot, or excuse me, stop here. And a great spot to hopefully get the ball in good field position. A blocked punt would be great here. A bad punt would be great here. Anything the prep can do to get good field position and add another score early here with 2:34 to go in the first.
And here is that punt. And it is almost blocked. It might have been tipped. It is going to stop moving around the 35.
And that's the field position you want if you're the prep. Only 65 yards to go to the end zone. It's not a given it'll happen, but good chances for the Hawks of St. Joe's Prep, AJ. As this offense for the prep, they want scores early. They want to get some guys who usually won't get PT, getting them that playing time this evening. Hoping to see that here with after another touchdown.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the honorary captain, Kyle Ullman, to get one and take it back, but I still have to wait a little longer for that. Frisbee and Harrison on the left. Colberdino, the lone man on the right. Folk in the backfield with Billups. Here's the snap. He's looking. And out route complete to Colberdino for a gain of 10.
Beautiful execution there. Great wrap by Colberdino. I mean, you know, all the attention's going to be out with the dynamic duo of Harrison and Frisbee on one side, but don't sleep on Simon Colberdino. He is solid himself.
Credit that tackle there to Buckner. Good job of just getting to him as soon as that pass was completed, not allowing any yards after catch. Colberdino and Frisbee now to the right. And Harrison, your lone guy, to the left. Or to the right, pardon. Folk takes the snap. He's looking that way. And it's complete for a gain of 7 on a little hitch there to Harrison.
Jet Harrison's the best player in the state of Pennsylvania. Jet Harrison is the best player in the class of 2028 in the country, in my opinion. This is a guy who has gained national attention as of late. We talk about him day in, day out, and there's a reason for that. He is a 5-star for a reason.
3 receivers left here with Novotny, Frisbee, and Colberdino. Your single man Harrison again on the right. Folk takes the snap. He's looking towards Harrison again. He gets him on another little hitch there for, not really even a little hitch there. Looked like a gain of about 16 yards or so.
And heading into this game, Jet Harrison already with 18 catches for 308 yards and 8 touchdowns. This guy on pace for 1,000. There's no doubt about that. And I mean, again, Jet Harrison, he was the wide receiver one as a freshman. He's going to be the wide receiver one all 4 years. This guy is special. It's not every day you have a Harrison. It's not every day you have a 5-star as a wideout for your squad.
Usual suspects on the wides. Folks looking again for Harrison on an out route there for 13 yards. We've seen this movie a couple times already, haven't we?
Yeah, Jay, and don't forget what happened the last time these two teams played. Jet Harrison had about the ankle breaker of the year against Father Judge. You can see that on Ryan Sully Sports Media's story. It's just, I mean, Jet Harrison is an absolute stud. There's a reason he has those Ohio State and Oregon offers.
Frisbee, Colberdino to your left. Harrison, the lone man on the right again. Folks going to look all kinds of time. Complete to Colberdino, who's going to get in as well. Colberdino running in untouched there.
This prep offense is spectacular. I said the prep defense is the best in Pennsylvania. No, I don't care what anyone else says. I think that St. Joe's Prep's offense is the best in Pennsylvania as well. That's why this is the best team in Pennsylvania. Colberdino just walks in untouched.
What about that protection there, Anthony? I mean,
Spectacular.
Charlie Folk had all kinds of time there. It's some great routes. I mean, he had multiple guys open there.
No doubt about it.
And once again, it's going to be Luke Cochran to attempt this extra point. Michael Zancoli on the long snap. And it looks like the prep line jumped a little bit there.
It's happened before. It happens every once in a while. But for the prep, you know, they're going to make a few mistakes. They just want to minimize those this evening.
Yeah. Just a little bit of early motion there coming from that right side.
It's high school. It happens.
Oh, good, though.
Yeah.
Cochran to attempt a little further of an extra point here, but absolutely in his range. And we got another flag here.
And we're just going to go back to where we started.
Yep. It's that middle of that Judge defensive line. Just jumped a little bit early. And we're going to decide, like you said, Anthony, we're going to go right back.
Yeah. Some things don't change, AJ. Some things don't change.
That is true. They do say that.
See Charlie Folk and company enjoying the evening so far.
It's been a great evening so far, hasn't it?
No doubt. No doubt at all.
Now, for our third attempt, Cochran to hit the extra point. Good hold, and right through. And I think he might have hit a car in the repair shop.
Wouldn't shock me. Not the best. They need a little bit of a taller net there because the car shop an easy target this evening for the Prep.
Credit to Luke, though. I mean, he got all of that.
Yeah. So 14-0 with 1:26 to go. I want to give a shout out as we get ready for the kickoff to a few people we see on the sidelines. Of course, the legendary Mr. Tretta, class of 1971. We talked to him before the game. How about Overtime in the building? Our guy Overtime Omar is here. Mr. Antoine Hall from Strap Kings is here. CJ, Toby Dorn, Cole O'Donnell, and the crew for the St. Joe's Prep sports sites. And then how about, usually we have a lot of Andrews today, just Andrew Zimmerman.
Only one.
From the Andrew contingent, as well as Cristiana Forcina and Colin Kivlin and Dominic Campanera, of course. Down on the sidelines.
Myself included the Andrew Club, technically.
That's true,
not
but,
on the
but
field.
you're not on the field. That's the issue. Against St. Francis, we have 4 guys on the field named Andrew.
Shoulders kick. It's going to be taken in. And look at Jaquez. Or not Jaquez, sorry. Look at. That was Chase Witherbone. It's a great play there. You see him flying up from that right side. It was a great hit.
Penalty on the play. St. Joe's Prep doesn't care. This defense, or the special teams, excuse me, absolutely electric. The defense there spectacular, and now the actual defensive unit on the field. The Prep guys, you know, they're having a good time. They're enjoying this evening's matchup, and of course still locked in, but you know, making the best of tonight as always.
Yeah,
It's always
apologies.
good when you're winning.
Apologies to Chase Winterbone there. It's a little hard to see from this angle. I thought
Yeah.
he was Dariel Jaquez there, but that was a fantastic play there.
We need to
on
get some
special teams.
binoculars.
Seriously.
And Judge backed all the way up here.
Yeah, Fogarino is going to take the snap from almost his end zone. The usual suspects out on the field for him. It's a handoff to the fullback, who gets nothing there.
That wasn't going anywhere. Fogarino hasn't figured it out yet. He doesn't really have anything he can do that's going to be consistently working this evening because of how great the St. Joe's Prep team is.
Yeah, multiple guys there. It looked like John Boggs was in there on the stop. And Brennan just doesn't have anywhere to go. You know, he takes that handoff, looks up, and nothing there.
I forgot to mention someone on the sidelines. First-time photographer Joe McNown. There, of course, up here with us, we've got plenty of great guys who we'll mention in a bit.
Gavin Hutz, your single receiver to the right. Takes the snap. And it's going to be dropped. Fogarino was looking again for his favorite target right now, Jacob Brennan. But that was just dropped in the end zone nonetheless.
What down is it?
It is money down. It is money down in a country mile nonetheless.
No doubt. 3rd and 10. The boys are enjoying it on the sidelines as the Prep looking to get another stop here.
3rd and an acre here for these Crusaders to get out of their end zone, really. This is not great positioning. We'll see if Fogarino can make something happen here. Takes that snap. It's going to be that option again. He's going to go outside. And good tackle right there by Samaj Hill.
Going to make it 4th down. Great field position, hopefully, for the Prep. You know, it'd be really nice here as a block punt. That would be more than ideal here for the Prep.
You know, they have a saying, block a punt, win a game.
Even if they don't block a punt, I think they have a good chance of winning tonight.
Still block a punt? I think that was a little important, though, just to kind of get your punter outside of your own end zone.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that punter,
Are they going to? We're just going to take it.
and there are going to be no punt, actually. That's going to be a 14-0 first quarter here. Your St. Joe's Prep Hawks lead at the end of the first. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back at the start of the second quarter. Your St. Joe's Prep Hawks lead 14-0. An honorary captain back to return. If the punt makes it all that way, which
That's the question here.
it is yet, but plenty of football still to play. And there's a better punt there. And
Sky high.
Allman is going to take it off the bounce. And he's going to bring it about 5 yards there. And the Prep are going to set up at the 30-yard line.
This field position is spectacular. Of course, as I said, the Prep here, you know, the plan, once you see them get to a good margin of lead, they're going to eventually take them out. But they're just, I think the goal right now is get to that margin as soon as possible.
Which I will mention, Anthony, will make our job a little bit more difficult. But that is a great problem to have as a St. Joe's Prep fan like myself and you.
Yeah, no doubt, AJ. Charlie Folk, you know, taking these snaps, you know. At the end of the day, every game is, you know, they all matter. They're all important. But for the Prep, just staying locked in here, not worrying about LaSalle until, you know, the starters get benched.
Folk takes
evening.
the snap. He's going to look deep for the end zone. Missing Jet Harrison on the deep crosser there. Just a little bit out in front of him.
That's what you say, yet so close, but yet so far away for the St. Joe's Prep Hawks. You know, good shot by Charlie. A one-play drive would have been spectacular, but doesn't happen. Plenty more opportunities to get in the end zone here for the Prep.
Got at least 2 more to make it 10 yards.
Yeah. The Prep right here currently on pace for a 56-0 win.
It's good math right there. Gun, Phillips, the lone back. He's going to get the handoff up through that B gap, and he's going to rumble forward for about 20 yards, all things considered. I mean, just a great job at carrying guys with him.
There you go. The Prep just, I mean, this offense is, again, they're absolutely spectacular. But, AJ, you mentioned the math. I need to say major shout-outs to Algebra 1 teacher, Mr. Kilpatrick, as well as geometry teacher, Mr. Tarducci, for the math skills. Always got to mention our great teachers at St. Joe's Prep who, without them, this great education would not be possible.
Absolutely. Folk and Billups in the back. Folk is looking in as a wide-open Jet Harrison in the end zone. And that's going to be another touchdown, St. Joe's Prep. Folk all kinds of time, and Harrison all kinds of space. Once again, untouched there.
One of the best wide receivers in the country, regardless of class, and the best player in his class. There's no doubt about it. Jet Harrison is an absolute. I'll say it again. There's no stopping 18.
Absolutely not. We have not seen it yet. I don't think we'll see it. Period.
Yeah, I don't think there's a DB in the state of Pennsylvania that's stopping this guy. He's the best player in the state, regardless of class.
Maybe Ryan Sullivan, freshman football, would give him a run. That would be my only guess.
Shout out to producer Sullivan.
Blake Shoulder on the kick. A little bit of a change of scenery here. And that kick is launched.
There you go. Right into the netting. St. Joe's Prep 21-0 early. We expected this, but you can't complain in that one. Getting close to Crispin Street there.
Yeah, to those to the viewers familiar with Rand Plake, that building almost getting hit right there.
Yeah.
With that kick.
of course, Father Judge, we should mention the boys, better known as the boys from Sally Ave, as we like to say, against 17th and Girard, the Northeast versus Francisville. This PCL football at its finest, between two programs that are two schools and athletics programs that are very well known.
And might I add, there's nothing finer.
No doubt. Nothing better than PCL football on a Friday night.
Better than PCL.
It just means more.
It does. It's like Big East basketball.
No doubt.
Shoulder on again, this time for your kickoff. The usual suspects to return for Father Judge. And that kick is out the back.
There you go.
Blake Shoulder showing off a little bit of the leg strength here for the broadcast. Very impressive.
As the offense gets ready to take the field, let me give a couple quick shout-outs here to our crew. Bobby Wright on stats. We've got Michael Desher, Sam Salamone, Anthony Correa, and Ryan Sullivan, of course, our co-president Ryan Sullivan, producing, as always, the best analyst in the state of Pennsylvania. He'll be back on Saturday night against LaSalle next weekend. A very highly anticipated matchup there. But let's talk about this one here as the Prep offense is on the field with another short, or Prep defense, on the field now.
Yeah, relatively usual characters standing out here for your St. Joe's Prep defense. Fogarino's in the backfield. He's going to take the snap. Motion. And it's going to be a handoff inside once again to Brennan. And I feel like a broken record here, Anthony. Nothing coming.
Yeah, this Hawks defense is, again, just absolutely elite. Fogarino and company, no match for the Prep this evening.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet.
He's had some success on those option plays to the outside, though.
He's had one good one for first play of the game.
You want to see if that maybe evolves into a late pitch, potentially.
Could be.
Absolutely. But we'll see what happens here with Fogarino in the backfield again with his favorite target, Brennan, standing right to his right. And the keeper, to no avail again, brought down in the backfield. It'll be called no gain. Dropped by Alex Haskell.
There you go. The Penn State man had an article written by 247. Shout out to Ed O'Brien there with that article for the National Recruiting website. Alex Haskell, an absolute beast. Just no one better on the line in the state.
Ryan Zatz coming into the ball game.
There you go. Getting some new guys in.
Fogarino takes the snap again, and still nothing there. Swallowed up again. Anthony, I'm having a hard time crediting these tackles. It looks like every single guy out there.
It's a lot of guys doing a lot of things out there, but at the end of the day, they're all tackling the man.
Looks like maybe you can credit a half tackle to 11 guys on each play. That being said, we're going to have a face mask call against the Prep, an automatic first down for Father Judge. A little bit of a bailout there, getting them a fresh reset.
Yeah, so now we want to see if you're the Prep again. Discipline matters. It's going to matter next week against LaSalle. You can't make mistakes in that game. And you can never afford mistakes in football, no matter what the level is. The Prep defense here, just, hopefully they get you a quick money down and then force a punt.
Love money down.
We said this was going to be packed. It is beyond packed. We see
Oh,
so many
yeah.
Father Judge students behind the stands. I mean, this place is sold out, filled to the brim this evening.
Very impressive showing.
By both teams.
Yeah, really. Let's see Fogarino here, what he can do with his usual made man with him in the backfield. He's looking, and that pass is going to be a little behind. He was looking for Hutz there on the crosser, but just missed him. Just threw it a little too late. 2nd and 10. Father Judge Crusaders working inside of their own 30.
Tyjon Hamilton there on D for the Prep as well.
Pretty strong coverage from him there.
No doubt. Hamilton, a guy that you don't see in the game all the time. Not a starter, but getting solid PT this evening. A sophomore DB, who's really solid. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely. So much depth on this Prep team overall. Now we're going to see what Fogarino can do here from the gun. He's going to roll out right. He's going to let it fly, and incomplete. Brandon Lockley on the coverage there.
His Instagram is betonbdot. I think everyone at St. Joe's Prep is betting on him to have a good game. Not monetarily maybe, but in our hearts and in our minds, knowing that Brandon Lockley's an absolute beast. The spy a lot of the time. Great linebacker. Offers from the likes of Texas A&M, West Virginia, Penn State. This guy has offers from all over.
You said, Anthony, just a very smart player in terms of rushing the passer, covering at that second level. But we'll see what he does here on a money down for the Prep Hawks.
Let's go.
Fogarino's going to take the snap. He's going to roll out right again. And Ryan Zatz is going to get in there and drive him back. Not take him down to the ground. Very nice from him, being a man forward with others, keeping him on his feet, but pushed him back really far.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night is what the Prep D said there. What a stop.
Absolutely.
And we should mention as we get ready for a Father Judge punt, of course we talk so much on the pregame show about games around the PCL. Roman and LaSalle, it's 14-13. The Explorers will keep you updated throughout the game.
And that punt. Snap over the punter's head. That's going to be a pretty hard field position to defend there if you're the Crusaders. St. Joe's Prep taking over with the ball inside of their 10.
This is the definition of great field position. We're seeing Charlie Folk in there still. We'll see how much longer he's in this one as we have 8:30 to go. But for the Prep here, just looking for another touchdown. As we see Amin Williams in there, we see the normal wide receivers as well, but no Kai Billups.
Yeah, the usual suspects. You see Jet Harrison, usually isolated as your lone guy on that left side. Frisbee and Colberdino both out right. Amin Williams, as you mentioned, in the backfield with C4 Charlie Folk. Takes the snap. He's looking, and it is incomplete. Looking for Olsen Frisbee there. Looked like he had the shoulder. It's a hard one to bring in there.
Good coverage there by Father Judge. No doubt about that. Credit to the Crusaders D on that one.
Absolutely. Hard man to stop, he is.
No doubt.
Real emerging star as well.
Yeah. I'm honestly surprised that Judge has Harrison one-on-one.
Yeah, it is interesting.
You think they double?
Looks to me like they've been working a lot of zone so far, so I
Yeah.
guess that would be my explanation. Usual suspects. Falk to take the snap. He's looking, he's going back shoulder end zone for Harrison, looking for the highlight reel, but incomplete. So Harrison reaching back there for the one-hand toe tapper on the corner. That would have been something else, but to no avail.
That one would have been on overtime in about 5 minutes, as well as on, of course, our social medias. No doubt there. I mean, you know Jet Harrison is a special talent. When you have overtime coming to each and every Prep game, it seems like they're going to be here week in, week out talking to their guys. They are, you know, Jet Harrison is the emerging star of the class of 2028. There's no doubt about it.
I like to think we would get that up before overtime would.
Yeah. Dom Camp and the boys down there in the end zone right now getting their great videos, as well as Mr. McGlynn and Cole O'Donnell
taking a snap all kinds of time, and he finds Austin Frisbee on the shallow crosser there, and he had about 20 yards of space there to walk into the end zone. Completely untouched, which I'm saying now for, I want to say, the fourth time.
Yeah, these two teams are on completely different levels, AJ. Let's just put it plain and simple.
Like we mentioned, the emerging star there, just getting open. Completely untouched, and we see shoulder in again to take this extra point. If I was living behind the goalposts,
I'd be a little bit scared.
Yeah, I'd, maybe reinforce my glass a little bit. Zach Coley's snap is good, and shoulder hits it way through again. That might have made contact with the wall. If not.
Yeah. No, I mean, this Prep team is absolutely dominating. 28-0. Last year, the score was, 35-14, something like that? This is much more of a This is one of the best St. Joe's Prep teams we've seen in a long time. They're showing that this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. Anthony couldn't have said it better myself. Just a great showing from this team so far as we see the prep kickoff unit. And now switching again, Luke Cochran out there to hit this one away. Really interesting, this sort of switching on and off of kickers.
I mean, the prep just, wants to give different guys a chance this evening, and that's what they're doing here.
Absolutely, Anthony, absolutely. The usual guys to return. Hutz is back there. And here's the kick, and it is checked out of bounds. And it's going to be a Father Judge first down.
Prep defense back on the field, looking for another stop. Hopefully they can set up this offense to make it 35-0 going into the half.
Relatively similar faces out there, all things considered. We see Brendan Flaherty standing at the safety position now. Sire Acree and Samaj Hill, or not Samaj Hill, sorry. Once again, having a little bit of trouble seeing here, but in Hamilton and Messiah Acree standing out there at the cornerback positions. Brandon Ross as well. And it is swallowed up again. Looks like a botched snap there, Anthony, and just really nothing for Fogarino to work with there. Just going down straight away for a loss of about 5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean, this prep defense, again, they're spectacular. They're elite. Every positive adjective you can use, you use for this defense.
It's fair to say, yeah. See Roberts filling in on that right defensive end for St. Joe's Prep. Fogarino back in the gun to take the snap. His made man standing with him. And he is going to hold on to this and just throw it right into the ground. The pressure was too much. Brandon Lockley was in there, making him real uncomfortable, along with that guy we just mentioned, Roberts. Both of them just making it hard for Fogarino to even pick his head up, really. He took that snap and pressure was in his face.
Yeah, I mean, when Ryan Sullivan, our producer this evening, and I were sitting in our free period watching film a couple days ago, he said, Brandon Lockley's going to have a field day, and that's what we're seeing so far.
Absolutely. And we'll see if he continues to have a field day on, what down is it, Anthony?
Money down.
Oh, yeah. Father Judge needed some little bit of magic here.
Yeah,
on
that's what
3rd
the
and 18.
announcer just said. They need magic.
And he's going to keep it, and he goes absolutely nowhere.
No matter what they did, they could have ran a Philly special and it wouldn't have worked. Like anything you can think of in the book, it's just not working.
How about the corner, Brandon Ross stepping up there, making a great play on the football.
BR is an absolute beast. There's no question about it. This is a guy who has that Syracuse offer, as well as Delaware State, obviously an up-and-coming program. 2 great offers, as well as Rhode Island. Absolute stud.
Sean Jackson at Delaware State. Oh, that's a
There you
bad
go.
snap there. And it's a safety.
30-0.
And we see 30-0 here for the St. Joe's Prep Hawks. That's just a really bobbled snap and a great job from special teams to get to the punter right away. And just gave it no option. Looked like he might have tried to toss it away, but
Yeah.
there was nothing there. He had no time. And that's
Yeah.
been a little bit of a theme, I would say, is bobbled snaps. For another little score update, the Philadelphia Phillies.
1-0. There you
1-0
go.
so far, not bad.
It is. I mean, obviously you can't see it because the camera's out on the field, but wherever you look in these stands, someone's watching the LaSalle Roman game because, again, 14-13, 5:29 to go in the second. Roman Catholic is looking, or actually LaSalle with the ball now, looking to drive. That would obviously be a major upset, and this is a loaded weekend of PCL. Between that and the Delco Holy War in this game, That's your schedule this tonight for the red division and the blue division. Great matchups. Archbishop Carroll, New Goretti, West Catholic, Lansdale Catholic. PCL football is back, and it's better than ever.
Kevin Stamenek on to try to flip Father Judge field position here. The dangerous Messiah Acree.
Best kick returner in Pennsylvania.
But that is not going to be taken in by him. Jacoby's going to take it all the way up, runs over a man, and gets to about the 50.
Let's talk about Jacoby Martin. This guy, a freshman, an absolute stud. He has an offer from Syracuse before ever playing a high school game. 5'10", 170, getting his first playing time of the season on varsity right there. And it looks like there's going to be a holding call there.
Expect to see a little bit more out of him, potentially this game.
Yeah, no doubt. As it looks like it's still going to be the starters. We'll see how much longer they're in here.
Starters more or less, maybe a few moving parts as we've seen so far.
And a reminder that the Prep looking for the running clock. That would be 35-0. If they get a running clock, then the rest of the game, then you're going to see time move very quick, and we're going to have a very, very quick game this evening here at Father Judge Durant Playground.
C4 and Amin Williams are going to be the two in the backfield. That dynamic duo of Cole Berdino and Frisbee out on the left, and like we've seen so often, Jet Harrison, the lone man, on the right. Looking to get a lot of attention so far from his defense.
You see the safety there just kind of lingering, and then you've got the one-on-one corner.
Folk takes the snap. So he's looking and is tipped away. That's a great defensive play there made by number 52, Michael Walsh.
I think that's the first time we said that all night because, I mean, this Prep offense has been so dominant, but there's a nice play by Father Judge. Again, this team is in the top 10% or so of teams in the state of Pennsylvania. Nothing to be too despondent over if you're Father Judge. I think tonight's score thus far was the expectation. I know we're on pace for more than 60-0 game, but still, like this is not a terrible Father Judge team.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, people often forget the impact of just, getting your hands up there on the defensive line. You don't need to get to the quarterback. You don't even need to be that close to the quarterback to make an impact, and a great impact made right there.
No doubt at all. So, and we have breaking news, AJ.
So I've heard.
Roman Catholic has taken the lead over LaSalle College High School.
Huge game. Probably, that's a combination of two of your top three teams, projected at least in the PCL, and Roman coming out with the advantage so far.
And, of course, we'll keep you updated at halftime. Obviously, our guys at halftime will have the update as well. But right now, for St. Joe's Prep, looking for another touchdown and get this running clock going.
Usual characters out here for the Prep. Charlie Folk to take the snap. He's going to go to Amin Williams. He's going to hit the C-gap pretty well and get about 6 yards.
You'll take it, right? Amin Williams is a guy who you're going to see getting more playing time as the years go on. This is a guy who is very solid. We saw him a lot against DeMatha late in the game, and we'll see him more and more throughout PCL play. Don't expect a lot of him against LaSalle, but against Roman, against Bonner, against O'Hara, watch for him. And even in the state playoffs, watch for a lot of Williams.
Good stop there by Mike Foggerino, just getting downhill and making sure that Amin doesn't pick up even more than he already had. Jet Harrison, the low man to the right. Your usual two out to the left. Folk and Amin in the backfield. Folk takes the snap. He fakes the handoff. He is over the middle to Novotny, who has no one near him. And he is going to take it about 50 yards in for another St. Joe's Prep touchdown.
36-0. That means it's time for the running clock.
Yeah, there was just nothing. There was no one near Rob Novotny. That's the second time we've seen him just run that seam with absolutely uncovered there.
Prep looking to change a 36 to a 37. The clock's running the rest of the game. Feeling good here.
Or rather, the clock should be running. Cochran now. Maybe the houses are safe. Maybe they're not. We are to see. Here's the snap, and he had a leg on that too.
There you go. St. Joe's Prep 37-0, 40 or 5:40 to go in this one.
Anthony, some of these field goals, some of these extra points, rather, well, they could have been good 45-yard field goals.
No doubt.
Good job from the St. Joe's Prep special teams so far. And we'll see a little bit more of them on this kickoff coming right up.
Prep guys taking the field here.
Luke Cochran looks like he's going to be the one to do the kickoff. Use the warm leg.
Yeah. Not sure why the clock's not running yet. Must be some sort of
Technical difficulty, if
Yeah.
you will. I do not have that answer. I do know that it is the usual returners in there for the Crusaders.
2 guys back deep.
Yep. Some drums going on in
Got
that
the
far
drum
right
line over
corner.
from Father Judge. We'll probably hear them at halftime.
Very interesting. Adds a little bit more atmosphere to the game. Always appreciated.
I think the best band we've seen was state playoffs last year up against Parkland.
Absolutely. Cochran's kick is out the back again. Once again, broken record.
We are starting to sound like a broken record. We're saying the same thing because we're kind of,
Seeing the same thing.
Yeah, we're seeing the same thing. There's not much to say other than that. St. Joe's Prep is absolutely dominating in this one, up 37-0. I see, everyone looking on. Everyone is more calm, cool, and collected than not.
Still the
on the
usual
sideline.
figures out there for the Prep. Hill and Acre, your corners. Flaherty and Jaquez, your 2 safeties in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if we saw the offense in for longer than the defense. If we saw the defense in longer than the offense, it would be great to have a shutout tonight.
Absolutely. John Boggs in at Mike linebacker. See Brandon Lockley motioning to that far side. This is a snap. And breaking a couple tackles. Breaking a lot of tackles right there. Great. Fogarino fought for all 6 of those yards.
Yeah, and the Prep can't take their foot off the gas here. They need to stay dialed and locked in.
They have run that same rollout, design rollout a lot of times.
They should know it's coming by now.
I think they've played it very well, all things considered. We do see.
No doubt. No doubt at all.
We will continue to see how they're going to attack that moving forward. Fogarino once again in the backfield with his fullback. The running back in 2. Looks like Glacken standing behind him there. And it is going to go to the fullback, who is tackled by, it appears to be 11 white jerseys.
That's the simplest and best way to put it, AJ. The Prep just swarming there. Absolutely swarming.
Anthony, it's a little less about the viewing point and more just about there's too many to count.
Exactly. And it's money down. Big 3rd and 2.
You can always count those.
You very much can.
I think money down in defensive territory. It's got to be my favorite down, personally.
And we should mention Max Rogers warming up on the sidelines of the Prep.
Be interesting development to see here. But first, we're going to watch this money down play here for the Crusaders. Fogarino to take the snap. He's looking, and pass is completed. Fogarino finds Hutz, who's going to go all the way down for a gain of about 50.
Again, the Prep can't take their foot off the gas, right? We can talk about how much they're dominating, but you can't slip up. You can't take a moment off here, AJ.
Yeah, absolutely. 42 yards there, all things said and done after that completion. It was about 15 on the catch, but a great job running after the catch, breaking that first tackle. And a good route there, getting just that shoulder on the slant there. A little bit of life to these Crusaders.
No doubt, AJ, but the Prep fans, they're yelling. They want to make sure their guys are locked in here.
Let's see, Fogarino will look towards Hutz again. He is covered by Samaj Hill in the corner. And it's going to go to the fullback, who is going to lose another yard. Jacob Brennan, you got to feel got a feel for him a little bit. He's just had guys right there in his face this entire game so far with 3 minutes left to go in this first half.
Not only Max Rogers warming up, but also Kobe Towns, both guys warming up. The sophomore and the freshman, they split time on JV usually, and they're sharing the warm-ups here. Watch for both of them in the second half.
Fantastic production from these younger quarterbacks here.
No doubt. They were spectacular on JV. I mean, we saw them against Cardinal Gibbons down in Florida, 55-0.
Taking a snap under center there and swallowed up again. A little bit of a different look there for Fogarino, sitting right off his center, but didn't look like it mattered all that much to Alex Haskell, the Penn State man, just tearing stuff up in the middle of the field there like he does so often.
And it's yet again money down, 3rd and 13.
Another money down.
You'd love for a stop. You'd love for a turnover here.
Money down, a far money down, too. No turnovers yet for this prep defense.
No turnovers really on either side.
Yeah.
The safety's about as close as we come to it.
Yeah. Once again, under center is Fogarino with 2 men in the backfield. He's going to fake the handoff, roll out right. It's been complete to his fullback, who is going to get almost all yards out there. Jacob Brennan making a pretty good play there. And that's a good play there for Father Judge, just ensuring that you're in field goal range for this 4th down. He couldn't, if you miss a deep pass there, you kind of put yourself in an awkward situation.
And Father Judge is going for it, AJ.
Oh, wow. I mean, they have nothing to lose.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, if the prep got a spot here, a stop here, that would be spectacular, though.
That would be spectacular.
It's double money
Double money down here for the prep. What's better than money down?
Double money down.
Absolutely. Let's see what Fogarino can do here. Takes a snap in the gun. He's going to throw a little screen pass out there, and that ball is knocked loose. Colton Anderson with a huge hit there. What about that speed getting off the line?
Absolutely, AJ. So the ball goes the other way.
Yeah.
And we should note it is Roman and LaSalle tied at 21 right now in the second quarter.
I'm still thinking about that hit.
I know.
He crushed that.
And the prep defense coming off to an applause.
There's that first, I don't know if you really call that a turnover on downs or a turnover in general, but it's a great job there from that prep defense. It'll be interesting to see now who trots out at the signal caller for the prep.
We know Charlie Folk's day is done.
Was it?
Max Rogers and Kobe Towns both in the huddle there.
Like you said, Anthony, Charlie Folk not appearing on the field. It will be Max Rogers instead, under center, or in the gun, for this prep offense. Amin Williams in the backfield.
Got 2 sophomores there behind the L-line. Elam Tootle also in the game.
Handoff. And Amin, whoa, double spin there. And it's going to be a huge gain as he spins and dances for about 30.
Amin Williams, have yourself a day. He'll come out of the game for Logan Darrisaw, another sophomore here for the prep, getting underclassmen a lot of playing time. Also in the game for the prep, it is number 88, Abdul Bashir Burgess in here for the St. Joe's.
Yeah, and he is the lone man out to the right. Rogers takes a snap. It's going to be a handoff inside and roaring for another first down. Big 2-6, Logan Darrisaw, the sophomore, on a nice carry.
There you go. Darrisaw is a guy who he's growing. His football IQ is growing. This is a guy who you're going to see a lot of in future years, but it looks like a penalty is going to send the prep back. And 1:13 to go, by the way, we should mention, AJ, until halftime. Of course, Hawk Talk of the Half, the best halftime show in all the land.
Absolutely.
Will be on just momentarily once Dom Campanaro gets up here.
No running clock still, but a little holding call there on the prep.
We thought there would be one, but I don't know what the deal is.
Prep for Max Rogers now, and the prep backed up 1st and 20 same characters for him here. And that's going to be another handoff. And once again, same movie twice in a row. Logan Terrasol rumbles for about 15.
Yeah.
It's a powerful run there.
Absolutely. Logan Darrisol great. And here comes Amin Williams. They're just switching off.
Power and elusiveness there between those touches with a lot of weapons on this field.
No doubt.
See the two young receivers out on his right side. It's going to be a handoff to Amin, who's going to get to the perimeter and hit a huge hole and keep rolling. Breaking 1, 2, 3 tackles for getting stopped for a gain of about 30.
The clock was running. That's going to stop for the Chains to get set with 26.8 seconds to go here, AJ. And we don't know why the clock is still stopping. Now it'll
Clock
run.
is running again. What about Amin Williams just slashing through that hole there?
Absolute beast. Nothing else to say.
And he's going to get the football again. Getting out to the perimeter, cutting back inside and getting about 5 yards after making one man miss.
Not too shabby at all.
Good job on the tackle there by, the real workhorse here, Jacob Brennan, playing linebacker and running back / fullback. He's just been all over for these Father Judge Crusaders so far, and he continues to do so as our first half wraps up. St. Joe's Prep Hawks lead 37-0 here at Ramp Playground. That has been all for this first half, and we'll see you next half.
Yeah, we'll see you in the second half. Hawk Talk at the half. Up next.
Here to receive the kick,
Yeah.
the freshman back on the 20 to receive, along with Messiah Acree. We call him the most dangerous return man in the PCL in the area as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Messiah Acree is an absolute beast. I mean, this is a guy who is averaging a ton of yards on the drive.
A squib kick picked up by Messiah. Oh, and he's going to find a huge hole and pick up about 25 there, getting tackled at the 45.
If he doesn't slip, he's going to the house.
I think so. Lightning quick.
Yeah, I mean, Messiah Acre, he's speedy. His agility is elite. He's one of the best corners in this league, and he's one of the best kick returners in this league. I'd say number one. Obviously, Gatto and Johnson and LaSalle, but I think Messiah Acre,
A little faster.
Yeah, he tops them all in the Valley.
Let's see what the Hawks come out with here. We do have Max Rogers out there with the Mean Williams in the backfield with him, the same characters from the end of last half. We have Elam Tootle and Burgess out there on your right side.
See the clock running?
Clock is running here, and Rogers to take the handle, or to take the snap, pardon, handoff to Amin, who was tackled in the backfield there.
Haven't seen that much thus far. We see the prep defensive starters still with their helmets on. Seems like they'll still be in here, but for the most part, it's a lot of backups and for the offense right now.
Credit Michael Walsh there for the Crusaders. A nice stop there, shutting down what has been a very successful St. Joseph's Prep run game so far.
Watch Elam Tootle on the far side. This is a guy who's been in the slot a lot thus far for the Prep this season.
Rogers to snap, handoff again to Williams. Stiff arm and gets no room, swallowed up again behind the line.
Logan Darisol comes in.
It's a pretty good play there, made by number 32. The linebacker and running back hybrid, Mike Fogarino. 3rd and 13 for the St. Joe's Prep Hawks. Not a thing we've seen very much so far. Expect Maxwell Rogers to deliver some airmail here.
Guy has an arm. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely, and as we mentioned earlier, Elam Tootle in that slot. Rogers takes a snap. He's looking deep, as we said, this time to the left side, and overthrow Burgess just a little bit.
Just a bit too far. So close, but yet so far away for the Prep.
And we're going to see something a little different here.
Yeah.
St. Joe's Prep punt.
Haven't seen that all day.
We have not. Like Luke Cochran out there to punt this one away.
There you go, Luke.
Luke Cochran or Colin Stoner.
Oh, there you go. Stoner.
Could be.
Colin Stoner.
It's hard to tell. They do have the same number after all.
No stats on the year thus far.
Not sure who it is.
Yeah.
Scanning the sidelines trying to see. But let alone, this is a great punt. Oh, and it's returned.
Great return.
It's a great catch there. Good job, Father Judge Special Teams there. About 15 on that return. Father Judge going to set up shop at about their own 40.
And the Hawks' backups are on defensively here.
We can't confirm that was Colin Stoner there.
There you go.
On the punt. Some new faces defensively here.
A lot of new
for
faces.
the Prep. Always great to see. And we'll see who makes the first big play. Here's the snap. Hard count. Handoff inside to the workhorse. And just a rerun there. Nothing rolling whatsoever for Jacob Brennan. He's getting the carries, but he's not really getting the holes.
Yeah. A couple more shout-outs I want to give to some people. I see Mr. Stins and the staff downstairs. Shout-out to them. Mr. Stins, Coach Clark, Mr. G, always helping us get set up with our passes and our access to these games. Huge shout-out to our athletic department. And
absolutely.
to everyone on the sidelines as
and
well.
Coming back from injury, Tyler Garman.
There you go.
Coming back, the senior. Longtime member of the St. Joe's Prep football team. A great guy overall.
No doubt. A lot of great guys on this squad.
Absolutely. I think that's the calling card of the Prep as a whole. As a new quarterback here, just missed him.
And that's Jackson Zedek in the game. We've seen him a decent amount this season. He has stats. There's no doubt about that. On the season, Jackson Zedek sitting with only one pass, but in the rushing game, 6 rushes for 20 yards. So he's gotten in the games a little bit.
Yeah, Zedit, good job at extending, just like the quarterback before him there. He was looking for Bartlett over the middle there, just a little overthrown. Not a bad look, though.
No doubt.
Zedit, here's the hard count. Takes a snap. He's looking. Goes out to the flat. And, selects a couple guys here. Glacken with a nice little gain there, making a couple guys miss, working back inside. Going to get out 4 there, but he fought hard for all 4 of those yards.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's going to bring up 4th and 7 for your Crusaders. Great try by Glacken. Bring up 4th and 7.
Anthony, I got to admit, we just missed a money down call.
Money down.
It is now 4th down. We did not mention money down. That is my fault. I will accept responsibility for that mistake. Toodle back to return, and that punt is going to check out of bounds or stay in bounds, rather, at the 42.
And we're already halfway through this third quarter. 6 minutes to go here in the third. I should mention we had Jackson Zedek in the game, but John Fogarino, the grandson of Ryan Sullivan's old van driver. What a connection that is.
I mean, yeah, see you guys on TikTok, connect random people. I mean, who thought they could do the Ryan Sullivan,
John Fogarino.
John Fogarino quarterback, but comparison rather,
Yeah.
quarterback. But it's one you can make apparently.
Always got to give a shout out to our co-president, Ryan Sullivan. Of course, Dom Schulker, other president of WSJP. They'll be back on the air for the LaSalle game, a highly anticipated game against LaSalle.
Tom Schalk taking on mock trial right now as Amin Williams is going to take on, Logan Darasol is going to take on his Father Judge defensive line. Did a good job at running through his first tackle, turning his legs there for a short.
Over that, the Hawkeye, their first issue of the year came out today, highlighted by Mr. McCall being the new principal of the draft.
Rogers in the gun. He takes a snap, handoff inside to Darasol, who rips through, and he's going to go all the way. Logan Darasol with a hard jump cut and just no one to cover.
Logan Darasol making a statement for St. Joe's Prep.
Yeah, I mean, that's the tailback of the future there for St. Joe's Prep, and it's a fantastic play made here for him right there. A good hole by the offensive line, and he made that first cut and he didn't look back.
No doubt about it, AJ. Ryan Sullivan and Anthony Correa, same Salomon, all happily surprised by that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do see Luke Cochran on for nothing because we're taking a timeout.
There you
See
go.
Luke Cochran actually walking off the field along with every other St. Joe's Prep Hawk.
Which means we'll take a very quick break here on WSJP. Actually, we'll keep it with you here.
Yeah.
I can't really tell what happened. That was very confusing.
We'll give you guys a little bit more of our voices because we all know that that's what you're here to hear,
Yeah.
not to watch St. Joe's Prep football by any means.
Here's the stat: 10.38 yards per carry for St. Joe's Prep today.
I mean, that is phenomenal.
How about it?
I mean, we know that they can do that.
Yeah. No.
And we saw it a lot last game really too, but more so here as well.
They called him Kyle Stoner.
Colin Stoner here, and that one might also hit the wall.
Again,
Good to
that's
see Colin Stoner getting some reps here.
unlike the PA announcer said. It is Colin, not Kyle. We'll be very happy to have Mr. Connors back, and of course the legendary Mr. Connors
Absolutely.
back on the PA for the LaSalle game. It's not prep football at home without Mr. Connors.
Viewers can't hear, but Judge PA saying, and I quote, "There's always next week." A little bit of humor, I guess, there coming from the speakers.
Oh, that's funny.
That is.
That's when you know it's bad. That's when you know it's bad, AJ.
Colin Stoner trying right back out there to kick this away. I am no genie, but Genie wouldn't know this anyways. I'm no crystal ball, but I'm thinking he's going to take care of the kicking duties for the rest of the game.
No doubt. 5:03 to go.
And Stoner to boot it away. And that is going to be returned. Taken in the end of out of his own end zone, and up to about the 30-yard line, give or take. That's a pretty strong return there from Gavin Hutz. The guy's had a pretty solid game, all things considered.
Not too shabby thus far for St. Joe's Prep. And Father Judge, I mean, kickoffs have been decent, but on the returns, but not much to be happy with if you're Judge, but if you're the Prep, it is 44-0 with 4:36 to go, and Roman Catholic is driving down the field against LaSalle right now.
Jackson Zedek, the sophomore, in the gun there with his workhorse to his left, and it looks like a jump from the Father Judge line.
Cha-cha.
False start from the left side. It's going to push the Crusaders back. Just 5 yards there.
Yeah. Judge currently being shut out. It's just been an ugly night. This is what we expected. My prediction was 49-0. My producer, Ryan Sullivan, predicted 48-0.
I said 63.
And that's not ridiculous to say, AJ.
If I remember correctly on the spreadsheet, which I did answer late, I did say 63.
If we didn't have a running clock, I think that would be a realistic score.
The sophomore going to take the snap. He's looking, he's moving, and incomplete. Good job extending the play there, though.
No doubt. Bit of a missed holding call there, but we move.
Yeah, Zedek getting out of the pocket. There is some laundry on the field, though, and that holding call, Anthony, was not missed. It was called.
Oh, there you go. So they move back.
And they're going to move back again. It would be now, see if my math adds up here, 1st and 25. Shout out. Anthony did his math shout out earlier. I'll do my shout outs to, I've been at my time I've spent a little more time at the Prep than Anthony, so I got a couple more, but shout out to Mr. Doyle.
Yeah.
For honors algebra. Shout out honors geometry with Mrs. Castagno, AP pre-calc with Mr. Savage, and now calculus with Mr. Falcone.
Mr. Kama down on the field.
Mr. Kama is here, another
say,
math teacher.
Mr. Kama, a big supporter of WSJP. We chat with him a lot. I remember it's the Springfield lacrosse game last year. He came up to the press box. Mr. Kama, as all of those teachers are, great people.
Zedek takes the snap. He's looking and just misses a little left, looking for Gavin Hutz again. Gavin Hutz has really been the go-to guy in the passing game, it seems, for this Crusaders offense, really bouncing between Hutz and Brennan in the backfield.
And, we talk about supporters of WSJP. Let's talk about the biggest supporter of the Prep. Mr. Chris Stretta, we mentioned him at the top of the broadcast. He's talking to Don Camp on the sidelines right now. Mr. Stretta, an absolute Prep legend on the sidelines at every game.
Absolutely.
Shout out to him.
Never misses one. I've never seen him not at a game.
He flew down to Florida for just one day to go see the team play.
If that's not dedication, I don't know what is. I wasn't even in Florida.
Nor was I.
Yeah. Let's see if the sophomore can work a little magic here on 2nd and...
A lot.
Yeah. 2nd and more than a couple feet. Oh, and it looks like he's going to work some magic with his legs there, but brought down swiftly.
Nowhere near enough magic, I'll put it that way.
Yeah, that was just, stealing all that magic away was Chase Winterbourne. We saw him on that huge hit in special teams earlier, make another play there, allowing just a single gain of 1.
And it's 3rd and 24, which means, what down is it, AJ?
It is money down. It is money down in a long time.
Ryan Sullivan, very happy with our money down mentions here.
I love the money down mentions. They're a great mention, honestly. Big fan. Ryan Sullivan really put me on to the money down philosophy.
No doubt. I think the money down is a mentality. It's a way of life at St. Joe's Prep on the sidelines.
It's a way of life at St. Joe's Prep as a whole.
No
Make
doubt.
the most of your opportunities and perform when you have to. But there will be no performing right now as we have a timeout on the field taken by Father Judge.
Which means we will take a quick break here on WSJP. Back in a moment.
Once again, Father Judge on 3rd and a ton, for lack of a better term there. Rolling out again, as we've seen so many times, and just slides down into contact. That's going to be a foul, most likely. Some sort of
unfortunate
defenseless
turn of
call would be my guess.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The Prep was ready to, just clobber him up there.
Yeah, and I think if you're looking at, just kind of, Logan Lindsay stepping in there, making the hit, but if we have to look at the context of this a little bit, it's going to be a first down for the Prep, or for Father Judge, rather.
And we have a score update from Widener U. It is Roman Catholic up 2 touchdowns on the Explorers of LaSalle.
Yeah, what a great game that is. Not as close as this game, but
Samaj Beals, the Akron commit and company. We'll see them on October 10th. Roman making a huge statement right now to the state.
absolutely. And we see the sophomore trotting back out there again. Zedek has been pretty profound with his legs so far. We'll see if he can work a little bit more through the air moving forward on this Judge reset. 1st and 10 from their 40. Zedek on the hard count. Takes a snap. Handoff and is swallowed.
There's no place to go.
Nowhere
Walking out in the backfield.
for Jacob Brennan to go. He is brought down instantly by big number 70, Farouk Rashid.
Yeah, Farouk Rashid right there.
The senior getting in.
How
making a
about
huge
that?
stop.
Ryan Sullivan loving that one, our producer. Our executive producer, Ryan Sullivan.
It's a huge body right there on that interior defensive line.
Yeah.
And making his presence really felt there. The Duke with a nice play.
It seems like this Roman news has spread throughout as I see Dom Camp and Mr. Tretta on the sidelines now watching the game. And there's a pick!
And it's picked off. And Logan Lindsay is going to take it all the way back.
That is a 50-piece.
Yeah, that one just really got away from Zedek there, and Lindsay very opportunistic to jump on that and take it all the way back home. As soon as he had 2 hands on that ball, he was straight in, but there is some laundry, I'm going to guess, potentially an excessive celebration.
Most likely. And that's what we call a 50-count nugget from Chick-fil-A this evening.
I could use a 50-count nugget right now, honestly.
I think
I'm
we
quite
all could.
hungry.
I think we all could, AJ.
My prediction was 63, did I say?
Yeah. They've already surpassed mine. I should give a shout-out if we're talking about food. Part of the St. Joe's Prep experience is Amir, the halal cart guy. Big shout-out to Amir. had some halal, as did Ryan Sullivan. Getting
On that topic,
getting halal after school.
Broadline north up to Canes is my personal favorite. Well, now I
Yeah.
can drive there.
But-
But that was a good one. In the corner store right across the street
No
on
doubt.
our Gerard Ave.
But if you're a student at St. Joe's Prep, make sure you go get some food from Amir.
Absolutely.
Great chicken over rice.
See Colin Stoner here. Smacks this one.
Striker adds the
We're just,
They should move their cars.
This is beyond fun, AJ. We're having a fun
a
night.
great old
St.
time.
Joe's Prep is up 51-0. This game is all but over, and we still have 17.4 seconds to go until the 4th.
I think those cars should be moved. Is what I think.
I agree, and we're seeing
I think
people.
that should have been the biggest halftime adjustment, personally. Crowd's still pumping a little bit, though, more
Yeah.
so than you would assume for a score of this standing.
A lot of baby blue Father Judge polos.
Yeah, the powder blue and red.
Gorgeous
Block
color
letters
scheme.
still going through. Yeah, it's a great color scheme. You know what else is a great color scheme?
Crimson and gray, the best
Crimson
in the
and
PCL.
gray. It's a fantastic one.
Swing on along.
Shout
with
out to the
crimson.
black, red, and gold up at the top of Northeast Philly. That's a pretty cool one. The blue and yellow from LaSalle is pretty clean with the white. A lot of great jerseys.
Yeah, you look all around the PCL. You look at that lighter tone blue from West Catholic.
Absolutely, the
Um,
yellow.
Judge has some great black basketball jerseys.
Oh, those jerseys are amazing.
Judge basketball, a
Shout
great
out-
program.
Shout out O'Hara. Got some
Shout out
pretty cool
O'Hara.
jerseys.
Yeah, O'Hara's a stop. They remind me of Ole Miss on the football field.
A little bit, yeah.
Those red with the blue helmets and
We'll see
red jerseys.
Stoner's kick wasn't even thought about being returned. I think you'd have to be about 30 feet tall to bring that one back, personally.
It'll be first and 10 Crusaders from the 20-yard line.
We were talking, they were signaling about the score.
All right, and this prep defense with more new faces
The clock's
getting
going to
ready.
run into the fourth quarter.
Getting ready as the clock winds down. Your St. Joe's Prep Hawks lead 51-0 as this third quarter comes to an end.
Four's up, and we will take a quick break here on WSJP.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your St. Joe's Prep Hawks clashing with your Father Judge Crusaders. It is a 51-0 ball game so far as the fourth quarter begins. Running clock, and the sophomore to take the snap. It is a handoff inside, and a little rumble there for about 2 or 3 yards. New face there in the backfield, number 21. Elijah Acosta-Torres,
There you go.
the sophomore, getting some love.
And we should go through some of the stats today. Kai Billups, 4 carries. Logan Darasol for 3, and then Amin Williams with 6 on the day. This prep team just so dominant.
Absolutely, and we'll see some more dominance here on the defensive side of the ball as Jackson Zedek sits back to take the snap. It's going to be a low one, and oh, wow! Oh, my, and that ball is on the carpet, picked up and brought into the end zone. What a defensive play there from the prep. Big number 66, Caden Stokes Chisholm getting in there.
Stokes!
The sophomore making a huge play, reading perfectly, and he was there before the running back was there.
Stokes with a big play there.
And then just a sea of white and red helmets getting into the end zone. I'm not sure who actually got in on the fumble, but what a play that was.
Next time we have advisory, Stokes and I are going to be talking about that one.
That was a great play. I mean, he just knew where the ball was going.
Shout out to Advisory 10I.
And I knew where that ball was going. Colin Stoner straight through the uprights.
And that one's in the parking lot. Hopefully didn't hit a car.
Yep, and how ironic is it that we have what appears to be, at least what I've imagined it to be for the last couple of years, an auto repair shop.
So Stokes got the ball out. AJ on the touchdown there. Ashton Joseph. St. Joe's Prep. Too good, producer Ryan Sullivan. Too good.
Good eyes there from our producer. Let's pick that up. I couldn't see there were too many bodies, but
That's what we call chaos, but good chaos.
controlled chaos. That was a word used by the prep soccer program actually on multiple occasions. Still used, I believe, actually.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, prep soccer, you
Should
look
know
at,
the answer to that.
you look at guys like the enforcer Jack Joseph. You look at guys like Will Powers, Jack Powers, the JV star. Happy birthday to Jack. We do greatly appreciate student council representative Jack Powers, younger brother of Will.
Jack Joseph, the enforcer.
That's his nickname. That's what Ryan Sullivan calls him, right, Ryan? The enforcer Jack Joseph. St. Joe's Prep Soccer.
The 5'5" enforcer. What a kid, Jack Joseph. But Colin Stoner, what a kick. That is going to be returned, coming basically out of his end zone, and he has nothing.
Yeah, there you go.
And that is swallowed up instantaneously. It looked like number 34 in there first on the tackle, Caden Dobley.
There you go. Let's get our mentions in. AJ, how about you take us through the upcoming game schedule for the rest of the
Yeah,
year?
absolutely.
Crusaders, not much room there. Crusaders are gonna
Yeah, Anthony, first we have on Tuesday a game versus Cardinal O'Hara for soccer. Soccer as well at Newman on 10-2. And then right after that, the next day, 10-2 is against Roman Catholic. Huge game. And then at Newman Goretti the day after.
And don't forget about football against LaSalle next Saturday night.
You can't forget about that. Huge game.
LaSalle still down 12 to Roman here. That one nearing the fourth. But either way, it's the biggest game in the state of Pennsylvania. And the one thing that prep fans need to remember, LaSalle will be angry going into that one next Saturday night if they lose.
I always say that I think the prep losing that first meeting last year meant a lot and really helped them to that win when it mattered most. But we might see the inverse here for LaSalle.
And how about this? WSJP's own Mateo Villari of South Philly in the game. Shout out to Mateo Villari, very dedicated member of the club.
And handoff, and that is wrapped up right away. Great play made right there at the second level. Burks just didn't really have much room, all things considered. Real common theme, isn't it, Anthony?
Absolutely, AJ. Absolutely, no doubt about it.
But they are going to tack a face mask on the end of that, moving the Crusaders forward about 15 for a reset of downs. Whole new faces in for the St. Joe's Prep defense.
Yeah. Prep defense, just getting some new guys in, trying to get more and more guys experience as we have 8.5 to go tonight.
Absolutely. Sophomore. Take the snap. Here's Zedek. He's going to go on the keeper, break a couple tackles, make about 9 yards there. Brought down by multiple red hats.
And that's something good, something positive for the Crusaders to take away from the day. They might be down 58-0, but they're getting decent yardage. The expectation was a big loss, and that's what we're seeing so far.
Yeah, Anthony, like you mentioned earlier, it's great to see, some of these new faces for the prep. Getting some minutes and, really having that ability to show their worth. I mean, we saw Farouk Rashid earlier making a great play. And then a great play made by multiple players on that fumble recovery for a touchdown. And some confusion in the backfield there. It looked like the two running backs kind of ran into each other. And that's going to be a stop made once again by multiple white jerseys. Looked like number 51, Christopher Pisano, in there as the first guy stepping down from his linebacker spot, but just a lot of congestion overall.
No doubt about it, AJ. The prep defense looking for a big stop here. 3rd and 1, money down.
And I was just about to say, it is about 3rd and 3, and that is money down for the prep. Each money down as important as the last.
No doubt about it, and that's going to be a cha-cha.
Yep, and we got some laundry
offsides,
on the field.
unfortunate.
It's going to be an offsides on the prep, and that's going to be no money down, unfortunately. But
for the prep, unfortunate turn of events. But, at the end of the day, they're still up so big that,
Anthony, I have a saying. It's a very smart saying, in my opinion. I always like to say, at the end of the day ends.
That is how the day works, AJ.
That is absolutely how the day works. And, for my breakdown on that, I mean, things happen sometimes.
Exactly.
But that's all right. You keep going. So, you know, at the end of the day ends. Not
Keep-
too much harm done anyways.
You keep moving. Right?
Yep.
Gotta keep it moving if
Yep.
you're St. Joe's Prep.
And if you're the Crusaders, you want to see if you can keep the ball moving here. We're seeing some young quarterback play here from Zedek. With 2 men in his backfield, he hands off to the second tailback, who is met at the line.
The St. Joe's Prep defense is absolutely spectacular. Even the backups.
Plays made by multiple guys there. It looks like Chase Winterbone was in there as the first guy on that stop. I mean, I'm still thinking about that hit on the kickoff coverage. Real highlight of the game, I think, overall.
I should say, if anyone had a doubt about St. Joe's Prep coming into tonight, I think that doubt is gone.
I'm not sure who had a doubt. That being said, though,
You'd be surprised. Outside of the prep, I think that there are some people who aren't the biggest believers, and I think that they are going to be pretty much just shut up after this performance.
and that is once again, I mean, Anthony, there was 9 white jerseys on that football right there. They're just
They're too good. They're too good.
11 guys flying to the football every single time. I'm not even sure how you're supposed to respond to that. I am no offensive coordinator. That being said, I don't know if there even is a way to respond to that.
Well, I feel bad for Judge's offensive coordinator tonight because he has a really tough job against this prep team.
We're inside 5 minutes to play. Let's go.
Here we go, AJ. 3rd and 6.
It is money down.
Indeed, it is money down once again for the prep D.
See if the junior can make something happen here. On the handoff inside, and once again, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in there on the hit. Not sure who to credit. We'll credit them all.
That's the safest option.
And another run that just doesn't go all that far.
The Hawks defense,
Aiden Austin on there, the freshman,
There
getting
you
a
go.
couple carries there. That is a good thing to see, but he didn't really have much of a lane there at all
yeah,
to show his ability.
yeah, no doubt there, AJ. The Hawks defense, just spectacular.
Elam Tootle back to return this punt. We'll see what happens. If it's a pretty good one. It's high. It's going to bounce around that 30-yard line. It's going to roll all the way down
Elam
to
and
the
I were
20.
Elam and I were talking yesterday about this game, and I knew, and he seemed confident, and I think he was absolutely right to be, because this team, it was quiet confidence, but they knew that they were going to have a good day today. I think they believed that strongly, and they have been proving that without a doubt. And just 3:24 to go until we're done here.
Shout out to the powder blue and red, specifically their fans, though. Still a pretty good attendance here. All things considered, Anthony.
No doubt at all, AJ.
And it looks like we're going to get something new at the signal collar, if my eyes do not deceive me. Freshman Kobe Towns.
This is a guy who's the #1 player in Pennsylvania in the class of 2029, Kobe Towns, getting into the game.
In the gun, it's going to be a handoff. And carry's going to go for about 4 or so yards.
And it's been a lot of hype around Kobe Towns, and now we get to see him in a varsity game. How about it?
That was Caden Dobley there on the carry, the sophomore running back.
Yeah, AJ, just, the Hawks looking to, run the rest of the game out, get this one finished up, and move on to LaSalle.
Couple more new faces all on the offensive side. And that's going to be another run up the middle.
We'll see if Kobe Towns gets to pass today or not. It'll be interesting to watch that.
And the St. Joe's
Jared Ruley
checks into the game. The St. Joseph Prep sideline erupting. Everyone happy.
And this is a guy who is an inspiration to the school day in, day out.
Now here's a guy.
Brings the positivity into the classroom, into the hallway. Jared Ruley in the game. This is a dream come true.
Absolutely. Now let's see if Kobe Towns can make something happen here on what would be a Father Judge money down. Just got to use that phrase as much. He's going to take it himself on the keeper, and he's going to lower his shoulder.
Yeah, Kobe.
He looks like he was short, but Some toughness there.
I like the effort. I like
from
the
the
effort.
quarterback, but there appears to be no signs of players turning around. I think if they don't get it, looks like they're geared up to go for it anyways.
Interesting.
This
LaSalle-
late, or at this point in time, they may just allow it to run out,
LaSalle,
it being the clock,
yeah, we
of
should say
course.
LaSalle, by the way, 33-28. Roman with the ball at midfield, though, driving with 11 to go there. So we'll be keeping tabs on that one the rest of tonight.
Yeah, after this, you guys can head over there. Oh, and it is a huge run. Going all the way down the sideline at the 20, at the 10, and pushed out of bounds around the 5.
Najee Williams.
Yeah, I mean, he took that, got straight out to the perimeter, and just didn't look back.
Got him at running back. This is a guy who does have an offer, D1, 4 offers, in fact. Najee Williams has an absolute beast, a transfer from Newman Goretti.
Isn't that amazing, Anthony? You have players with you have a guy with 4 Division I offers playing in the fourth quarter of this game. That is amazing.
Playing a lot of JV ball.
Well, speaking of the game, Anthony, I think that's going to be all with 4 seconds left. The Hawks are trotting off the field. The Crusaders heading back to their bench, and we'll see as teams shake hands now.
That will do it, AJ. I've got to run down to the sidelines with Ryan Sullivan.
And I got to get something to eat. That was a fantastic night of football here at the famous Ramp Playground just across the road from Father Judge. This was AJ Farrington, joined by Anthony Sorgi. That is all prep. Good night.